With going to many of these places, many people ask Nate and I a lot of questions. If we feel that this was our scariest place we've ever been to, or our most popular, what is the scariest place we've ever been to? We usually have mixed opinions on which place is the scariest. However, though, with the places we have gone to, that's a very small pinch of all the places just in Massachusetts alone that we've been to. So, for this episode of True Fear After Hours, we're going to look at a list that Nate and I have comprised of the top 10 haunted places in Massachusetts. Before this video begins, I would like to just give you guys a quick reminder. If you guys do enjoy the video, please be sure to like, share with your friends, and please do subscribe. Also, too, I just want to thank the hell out of you guys. I've never seen us grow as fast as what we have been growing within the last few days. I want to say just a few months ago, I was looking at 170, and now we're pushing 200 subs, and it's awesome. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Also, too, before the video starts, I'm so sorry. Just a quick little disclaimer. Many of these places they're legal to go to. However, though, I just want to include the places that say no trespassing. Please do not trespass. Do not get yourself into legal trouble. 2, if you go to any of these places that we mentioned, please do go with a group. Be safe, be with friends. And 3, please do not go at night. Let us do the night haunts. Not to say you guys are unexperienced, but there is, even for us, some element of danger just because you don't know who's out there at night. It's tougher to see at night. There's just so many more elements that come into play between night investigations and day investigations. Trust me, if these places are genuinely haunted, you will definitely find something in the day. I really don't believe that there is a difference between going during the day and going at night. Now that I got all the fun stuff out of the way, let's continue with our video. Coming in at number 10, I'm really beating a dead horse with this one, is the Freetown State Forest. Okay, so before everybody starts going off on me, I'm like, bro, again? It had to be included just because of its notorious history. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, I will link it somewhere up in the top as a card. The Freetown State Forest has a very colorful history between occults, cryptids, ghosts, you name it. And Nate and I have had some experiences there. However, it hasn't been too severe as the times I've gone with like my sister, and like we've seen, like we all saw a shadow. Nate wasn't there, but my sister, Kenzie, we could all confirm we saw a shadow. Between that, there's also been shady people who have gone that we've seen at night. And to that extent, I would say it's on the list just because of that alone. Just because it is a very, very odd place to be at. Coming in at number 9, shout out to my hometown, Fall River, is the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast. Located at 232nd Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. The Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast is notorious for its dark and gruesome past. In 1892, Elizabeth Borden allegedly murdered her father, Andrew Borden, and her stepmother, Abigail Borden, with a hatchet to the head. She first murdered her mother, Abigail Borden. Abby received 40 whacks to the back of her head, and then allegedly Lizzie went and gave her father 41 whacks. Another thing that happened in the house, and this is why I truly believe she didn't commit the murder. They also found Lizzie's cat decapitated in the basement. One thing about Lizzie was she was a big animal lover, and when she passed away, the money that she had, she donated and formed the the Fall River Animal Rescue League. So a little bit off topic right now, but that's why I truly believe Lizzie did not commit the murders. Many guests who stay the night at the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast report hearing strange noises, as well as even hearing a cat meow in the late night hours of their stay. If you are brave enough to check out the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast yourself, I will leave the link to their website in the description down below. Coming at number 8, we have the Husak Tunnel, also known as the Bloody Pit, located in North Adams, Massachusetts. This 4.75-mile tunnel opened in 1875 for trains to make an easier commute with their journey. However, though, such luxury did come at a very costly price. Upon completion of the tunnel, 200 men had lost their lives during the construction of the tunnel. Many visitors who go by the tunnel to experience the paranormal report a very uneasy feeling, and if you are fortunate enough, you will hear the screams of the lost souls coming from inside the tunnel. Okay, coming in at number 7, we have Salem, Massachusetts, also known as the Witch City, which I love because every Halloween it is lit as hell in Salem. So if you guys are ever in Massachusetts for Halloween, definitely go check out Salem. Salem is a thriving town that is very, very, very thriving with paranormal activity and anything spiritual related. In 1692, a very infamous trial happened within Salem. This trial would later be known as the Salem Witch Trials, and unfortunately this is the event that gave Salem its reputation with witchcraft. In 1692 the trials began, and 25 people had lost their lives due to these witch trials. 19 people were hung due to accusations that were put on them by the townspeople and these young girls who reported that they were being afflicted by these individuals, that they were practicing witchcraft. Later findings would show that that was not the case whatsoever, and they don't know if it's still up for a debate today if these girls were just flat out lying or if they were on some hallucinogenic that was causing them to think that they were being afflicted by these people. So 19 people were hung due to witchcraft, 5 people died in jail, and 1, Giles Corey, was crushed to death by stones. His final words were, "More weight." Many haunted places, actually buildings, cemeteries in Salem, are the Joshua Ward House, the Salem Witch House, the House of the Seven Gables, Old Salem Jail, Burying Point Cemetery, and there is so much more. So if you guys ever come to Massachusetts or you're looking for something paranormal to do close to the Massachusetts area, I highly recommend going to check out Salem. Coming in at number 6 is Hakamak Swamp in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. In Algonquin, the term hakamak means the devil's swamp, or it can also mean the place where evil spirits dwell. The natives would allegedly avoid this place due to its volatile reputation, and with it just being an overall evil and nasty place. Many paranormal researchers in the area also believe that Hakamak Swamp is the cause of the Bridgewater Triangle, which is a region of the southeastern part of Massachusetts that is allegedly a cursed area, and it's a hotbed essentially of paranormal activity that takes place here between cryptids, UFOs, extraterrestrials. It's so much. There's a book on it. I will leave the book link in the description below, and if I'm not mistaken, in our first True Fear After Hour video, I did leave the link to the documentary on Amazon about the Bridgewater Triangle. If you guys haven't checked it out, I will leave it again in this description. Definitely go check it out. It is a very great, it's a very well put together documentary detailing the Bridgewater Triangle, and it also including Hakamak Swamp. Also too, many YouTubers have also gone to Hakamak Swamp, including TFIL, my boy Elton. Hopefully we can collab one day. And Exploring with Josh has also gone to the Hakamak Swamp. If you are as brave as they are, explore at your own risk. Coming in number 5 is good old Wolf Island Road, located in Rochester, Massachusetts. While not the most famous of all the haunted roads in Massachusetts, for Nate and I is definitely our famous haunted area in Massachusetts. While we had some hit and miss experiences with Wolf Island Road, is arguably the best. This is in my opinion. You guys can think something completely different. In my opinion, it is the best we have gotten for our EVP in, I would say, in most of all our videos. Just the way that the EVP cuts out and says what it said with "Watch Me." And we always get an uneasy feeling, especially with my sister, with what happened to her. It's a wild road. And it's very bizarre because it's like we went through it one time without even wanting to film. We just wanted to drive through. So we drive through. Nothing happened though. So Nate and I, we have a theory that unless you're contacting out to them, that's the only time when they'll bother with you. If you don't bother with them, then they don't bother with you. Coming in at number 4 is Danvers State Hospital in Danvers, Massachusetts. Arguably, this has to be the most popular of all the haunted places on this list, just for being a pop culture icon. This gem has been used in many Hollywood and video game productions. Danvers State Hospital has been used for the movie Session 9, American Horror Story Asylum, and even one of the buildings in Batman Arkham Asylum. Today, Danvers was renovated into a condominium complex, which is a very interesting thing to do, considering it was the quote-unquote, the birthplace of the lobotomy. And if you guys do not know what a lobotomy is, I'll just paint a picture. Picture a ice pick going into this little corner of your eye right here. And picture a hammer tapping in and puncturing part of your brain to relieve your mental illness. So with that being said, and with just how the treatment was of the mentally ill back in the early 1900s, it's no wonder why Danvers is on this list for being extremely haunted. I'm not sure if any of the residents there report anything now, but back before it was renovated into a condominium complex, I remember reading reports that construction crews were having very difficult times because it was a rather disturbing experience just being in the building. Coming in at number 3 is S.K. Pierce Manor. Now, if you think you guys have bad luck, just hear me out with this one. Built by Sylvester Pierce in the late 1880s, shortly after the construction of the mansion and Sylvester moving in with his wife, a few weeks after moving in, his wife sadly passed away, leaving Sylvester with his one child. Sometime later, Sylvester remarried and got married to his second wife. He had 2 kids with her, and Sylvester was the next to die in 1888. After Sylvester died 3 years later, his second wife also followed him in death. This left Sylvester's 3 sons constantly bickering about who would receive the family fortune as well as ownership of the house. It was later decided that Sylvester's younger son would receive all of Sylvester's inheritance, including the house and the family fortune. With the Great Depression coming up and dawning on Sylvester's youngest, this is where everything started to take a turn for the worse. Sylvester's son slowly started to lose the family fortune, had to turn the house into a boarding home, which this brought in a lot of unwanted riffraff and caused a lot of violence as well as a lot of illegal activity within the house. All told, there have been 9 deaths recorded in the house, as well as human remains being exhumed from within the basement. If you feel brave enough to stay the night at SK Pierce Mansion, I will leave their link to their website down in the description below. However, though, be warned, any guests have reported receiving Trinity scratches while staying at SK Pierce Manor. Okay, so coming in at number 2, we have Dean Hill Road Cemetery, or also known as the Rev, located in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Located at the end of a dead-end road in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, sits Dean Hill Road Cemetery. This cemetery is a old Revolutionary War cemetery. What makes this place so unsettling is the fact that many people who live near Dean Hill Cemetery report hearing screams coming from within the cemetery late at night, as well as the complete absence of any natural sound, of any natural wildlife coming from within the cemetery. Tread very lightly if you visit Dean Hill Cemetery. Okay, so the time has come to our number 1 haunted place to visit in Massachusetts. Once again, I just want to remind you guys, if you are enjoying this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and shows us that what we're doing you guys are enjoying, and Nate and I will continue to keep up with it. Okay, so coming in at number 1, we have Spidergate Cemetery, located in Leicester, Massachusetts. So Spidergate is a very interesting cemetery, to say the least. Spidergate is a old Quaker cemetery that's nestled out in the woods out in Leicester, Massachusetts. Spidergate's nickname is also known as one of the 7 gates to hell. There is a altar somewhere in the cemetery, and allegedly there have been cult gatherings at this altar, and there's just been a very ominous and overbearing evil presence that people report feeling within Spidergate Cemetery. Nate and I have not been here yet. However, though, if we can get this video up to 30 likes and try to use that as a little push for our friend Nate, I think Nate will have no choice but to want to go to the cemetery. Well, not to want to go, he's probably not going to want to go regardless. But I think it'd be a very good push. Only experience I can give you guys regarding Spidergate Cemetery is what my sister has experienced. My sister has been to many haunted places in the past. She's done mostly everything regarding the paranormal. There was one time she went to Spidergates with her friends. It was late at night. They went in, and as they were heading back to their cars, they noticed, and this is gonna sound cliche, but she swears true to it and she has no reason to lie to me. She noticed her and her friends, they noticed this group of people coming into the cemetery wearing these black robes with hoods over their heads, and they were passing by my sister and her friend's cars, and they were clearly looking for people who were inside the cars. And she said that had to have been one of the most disturbing moments ever going to a haunted location. And also too, it drives home with some of these places comes a element of danger. So once again, I just want to drive that home before I end this video, that if you guys are going to any of these places, please do go with friends, do not trespass, and do not ever go at night. That being said, this was the top 10 haunted places in Massachusetts to visit. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.